Good evening. I'm Cheryl, and this is the Thinking Woman's Men's Podcast. I appreciate you dialing in tonight. It being a different day than I normally would be on here, also at a different time. So I'm very thankful to you who would listen in on today. The guest that I'm talking to tonight, me becoming aware of him, was like if though I had found a brand new penny. He was shining, he was dazzling in my thinking. So I reached out to ask him to be my guest, and I would have interviewed him on whatever day he said was best available to him. So today was the day. But now the reason being that I wanted to interview my guest tonight is because he reminds me of my brother, both named Ronald, both called Ron for short, both diagnosed with breast cancer. But unlike my brother, this Ron survived. Twice, in fact. So Ron RAPAPORT, two-time survivor of breast cancer. He's the host of the podcast that calls, the name is It's a Wrap with Rap. So tonight, I'm pleased to meet this man called Ron RAPAPORT. So help me say hello to Ron. Good evening. How are you today, Ron?
I'm great. And what a great introduction. So many kind words. I want to thank you for that. And knowing you.
Well,
My brother's name is Ron, and he went through the breast cancer journey as well. So, yeah.
yes. So believe me, the sincere invite and intro is really from the heart. So I am very glad to have you here this evening. And before, I'm sorry, what were you about to say? Thank you. Well, before we get started, the one thing I first wish that you would enlighten us with, tell us about the format of your platform, your podcast. Tell us what you do.
Well, Cheryl, that's kind of an interesting story. I'm a lead advocate in the state of Florida for Male Breast Cancer Happens.org. It's a male organization. Well, we have females, of course, in it, caretakers, etc., and family members of men with male breast cancer. And we were doing I got involved in it in 2019 in April. I was
you being at the age you were, when they told you this diagnosis, could you walk us through the emotional roller coaster that you had to have experienced learning something such as this?
Well, sure. I mean, I knew it existed, but I never really thought about it very much because it's rare. It's 1 in 1,000 for men, whereas it's 1 in 8 for females. So I got to be honest with you, it was a complete shock. And my first impression was, am I going to die? I pictured myself emaciated and with a bald head.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, I was terrified because I'm thinking, oh my God, now we've got chemo. Now we got maybe radiation.
Yeah.
I was never exposed to that. It was a lot of worry. There was a lot of anxiety. And of course, before I was diagnosed, I thought, well, this 1 in 1,000 is probably scar tissue or something like that. Or maybe gynecomastia, or maybe a calcium deposit. But my anxiety level was through the roof. There was nobody to talk about it, to get educated on the subject. And that's when I searched around and I found malebreastcancerhappens.org. But we can talk about that later. But yeah, it was an emotional roller coaster, and it was not good. And it was tough.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine that it was tough, and that's how come I wanted to make sure I word it as a roller coaster, because you got one thought and then another thought comes in, and it's just a terrible thing. I hate cancer so much that when I have to write it on paper, I don't even give it the respect to give it a capital C. It has run rampant in my family. But when my brother was diagnosed with it, I was reminded that how I came to know about it too was the actor that played Richard Roundtree. I think he played Shaq. Yeah. And I think that's who put it on the map for my understanding. And that was so many years before it actually happened to my brother. My brother died in 2019. And that's another thing about cancer, right? People have cancer, and for everybody, it's not a death sentence today. But it is based on other conditions that you would have in your body, that to get it along with those is just a horrible thing. But you have said something that took me to my next question. I was going to ask you, what is a major difference in male breast cancer versus when it happens to women? And I hope my listening audience took a physical, mental note, or either wrote it down when you said 1 out of 1,000 men, when the number is so much,
Yeah, I got to tell you, the craziest thing is when I walked in to get my mammogram, the nurse who was doing the mammogram said to me, "Are you Ashkenazi Jewish?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, you have a higher chance of getting breast cancer." And I went, "What?" I didn't, and I was, ignorant on the subject, but he said, "What is the major difference?" Well, it's a big difference, I'll tell you that. It's not 1 out of 1,000 anymore. It actually has gone to 1 out of 833. So it's going up. Whereas for a woman, it's 1 out of 8. So we are 1% of breast cancer patients, which plays down the problem. And so we're looking at 2,600 men in the United States are diagnosed yearly with it, and we lose 500 men a year to the disease, which, believe it or not, is more than testicular cancer.
Yeah.
So when we're filling out our forms, for example, when we go in to get our mammograms and things like that, the first time, second time, whatever, we're filling out forms and we're answering questions like, our pregnancies, our menstrual periods, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
The publicity abounds for women. There's hardly nothing mentioned for males. And another big difference is there's no stigma for a woman as in a man.
Right.
Many men are embarrassed to even say they have breast cancer. They'll say they have chest cancer or something like that because they consider it a woman's disease.
Right.
So there's a very big stigma in the black and brown community. Very, very bad. I'll give you here's what happened to me. This is a true story. I had my first mastectomy. They had to do a mastectomy, take off my left breast in 2019, and I was having some dental work done. So Cheryl, I said to him, listen, I have cancer surgery. I said, I have cancer surgery February 8th. Could you speed up my crown? Because all they had to do was just get it from the lab and put it in. But they wanted it done before my surgery, and they said, yeah, we'll do our best. So they called me up February 7th. The day before, they said, your crown came in. Can you come in now? I said, sure. So I go into the dental office, and I sit down. The technician, gets me ready in the chair. She says, yeah, I understand you're having cancer surgery tomorrow. I said, yeah. She said, what kind of cancer? And I said, breast cancer. Cheryl, she started laughing. She thought I was joking.
Oh my God, how horrible.
Well, that pain at that moment turned to purpose because a light bulb went off in my head.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, what was going to happen to me, once they got in there, maybe it spread or whatever. But I said to myself, you know what? No man should ever have to go through this. I'm going to do my best. If I get out of this situation in one piece, I'm going to advocate and do what I can to just let the world know that this exists. And so it was a good thing. It was actually a good thing.
Well, I don't know about good thing, but I am known for saying this all the time. What the enemy means for our harm, God uses it for our good. But she needed reprimanding. Also, when you actually went to have a mammogram, the person who, we need your wife, the people who do the work really need educating if the public never gets educated. So it's shameful. It really is.